Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Very glad you're here. Very good to see you. And thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to this place, comfy little quiet corner of the internet, where we do a little drinking and a little thinking. So come join me if you will. I've got some barley tea over here that I'm sipping on. It's quite nice. I'm actually kind of hooked on it right now. But anyway, bring what you've got, of course. Doesn't matter what it is. I won't judge as long as you're having a good time. So yeah, today just wanted to share a quick article with you, which comes to us via thecaliforniaglobe.com, written by the excellent journalist by the name of Katie Grimes. The title of which reads, Two Sacramento safe ground sites have 23% success rate in getting homeless off the street. Yep, so as you know, California, we're here, has a humongous homeless problem that nobody seems to be able to solve. And yeah, we end up with lots of articles with titles like this. This isn't the first, and I guarantee you this won't be the last, but I wanted to share it with you nonetheless. So yeah, I will link it below. Check it out. You can read it yourself if you want. Or if you want, stick around and listen to the sound of my very boyish yet mature voice.
Now let's get to skipping, young whippersnappers. The big city awaits.
Alright, and the article reads as follows. The two, quote, safe ground sites near the downtown Sacramento neighborhood of Land Park have had a 23% success rate in getting people off the street over the past 6 months, according to the city of Sacramento. The city is calling the 23% rate a, quote, success. Yeah, sure. Okay. The city of Sacramento explains on its website. The city of Sacramento opened its first, quote, safe ground sites 6 months ago to provide unsheltered residents with a safer, cleaner place to be. What have the outcomes been so far? The safe camping/parking site near both? W and 6th Streets, and the safe parking site on Front Street near Miller Park were not designed to be long-term solutions for unsheltered residents, said Bridget Dean, director of the city's Department of Community Response. Instead, the sites offer a safe place for people to stay, either in a tent or a vehicle, while accessing other resources that can help them escape the cycle of homelessness. To date, the two sites have served approximately 370 people. Staff at these sites have been able to help 85 people move on into better housing options, reuniting some with family and connecting others to housing resources, Dean said. Since they opened, the sites, which are considered, quote, low barrier, in that they accept people as they are, have remained full. Safe ground is not intended to be a long-term solution for anyone, Dean said. In addition to food, water, and shelter, the sites offer stability, safety, security, sanitation, and access to services and resources that can help people get into more permanent housing. Low barrier does not mean they accept people as they are. Low barrier shelters are popular with the homeless because there is no accountability, no sobriety requirement, no treatment requirement. They are allowed to continue to use heroin and meth, the two drugs of choice in Sacramento's homeless community. Local residents in the adjacent neighborhood had plenty to say about the 23%, quote, success rate. So that's an F, right? Therefore, a 77% failure rate? If I scored 23% on an, quote, experiment, I would be given a grade of F. Calling a shantytown a, quote, safe ground is right up there with the new pronouns, and used by the same out-of-touch with reality woke folk. 23% success? A business would shut down with those numbers. I'd like to know how many of those 370 people are now employed. Where's the rest of the data? If 85 were helped into other housing/families, what about the other 285? Where are they? Still in the shelter? Or did they get booted or walk out? We are getting more and more of them on Potrero. They gather outside the Dollar Tree most evenings. then disperse, leaving trash all over. To get an idea of the magnitude of Sacramento's drug-addicted homeless problem, facilitated by the city, state Caltrans crews cleared a sizable homeless camp along 29th Street between F and H Streets Tuesday, and the homeless, quote, campers just moved a block away. City officials call the drug-addicted homeless, quote, campers, unsheltered, and unhoused to justify the city's failed, quote, housing first policy, rather than requiring a, quote, treatment first policy. Then city officials could call the drug-addicted homeless, quote, unsober, junkies, schizophrenic, and psychotic. No one makes money on treating drug-addicted, mentally ill homeless people, but plenty of big donors to the city council make money building, quote, affordable housing and renovating flop houses, apartments, and motels. The clearing took place so crews could clean up used needles and human waste on the property along 29th Street between F and H Streets, the Sacramento Bee reported. Many of the roughly 12 unhoused people who were cleared from the lot moved their tents a block north to a dirt lot along 29th Street between E and F Streets. Last week, Caltrans cleared a homeless camp along 9th Street near W Street under a freeway overpass which separates two downtown neighborhoods. After the cleanup, City Councilwoman Katie Valenzuela said she got calls from nearby residents complaining about tents popping up in the adjacent Southside Park neighborhood. Valenzuela's knee-jerk reaction was to criticize Caltrans for not opening alternative spaces where the homeless could go, the Bee reported. The city's $100 million plan to, quote, address homelessness includes 5 Caltrans properties under the WX freeway from 18th to 24th Streets for 200 tiny homes. But these are not popular with the nearby tax-paying residents and business owners, nor are any tiny homes even open. The city last month opened a 100-bed homeless shelter on X Street near Alhambra Boulevard. As of Monday, there were 13 people staying in that shelter. Another success? And there you have it. I like how this one person in the article put it, 23%, so that's an F, right? Well, yes. Yes, that is an F. If you went to school and you got a 23% on your test, you would fail. You would have to repeat the test or repeat the grade or whatever. You know, that's a fail. And I'm just confused, you know, why do people accept failure from government but not other things? I mean think about it, right? Like your job. If you only completed 23% of the tasks assigned to you, you would probably get fired or demoted or something. You know, like what about the police department? You know, if they only caught 23% of the criminals, or the fire department, they only put out 23% of the fires. I mean, I don't think the fire chief or the police chief would be around very long after that. Same goes for the military. You know, if we're in a war, right, and they only won 23% of the battles or the fights or whatever, I'm pretty sure heads would roll, generals would be relieved of duty. It would be a big deal. Yeah, just one more example, throwing it out there. What about a restaurant? You know, if you went in there and you paid for your food, you know, you saw on the menu, and the menu said, hey, giant burger. And you said, oh, that looks good. All right, I'm going to get this giant burger. And they only gave you 23% of it when they brought it to the table. Well, you'd be rightfully upset, right? I mean, you'd be mad. You'd want to speak to the manager. You'd want a refund or at least your full burger, right? I mean, I would think so, right? I would. And there's no shame in wanting what you paid for. So, once again, you know, bringing it back, why do people accept government failures? If the restaurant brought 23% of the burger to your table and you want to speak to the manager, why don't I see more people upset about this? You know, 23% homeless. And this is just in Sacramento. I mean, it's probably worse in other places like San Francisco or LA. I mean, definitely worse. I mean, have you been to those places lately? I have. They're horrible. But putting that aside, I mean, it's bad everywhere. Why do people accept this? I mean, I'm genuinely confused. So if you have an idea, please let me know in the comment. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm baffled. I don't know why people accept this. If you don't accept the restaurant, not giving you your money's worth, why do you accept government officials and politicians doing it? It's weird. I don't understand. I mean, I'd hold the politicians to the same standards as my restaurants. I'd want to speak to the manager, or in this particular case, the mayor. And that's the thing, like, at a restaurant, you can speak to the manager. Well, guess what? Your local city council, you can talk to them. You can call them, you can email them, you can write them. I mean, in the article right there, Katie Valenzuela right here says she got calls from her constituents, and she talked about it. I mean, I guess that counts for something, right? But, I mean, the point is, she heard, she listened, right? Sort of. Your mayor, your local mayor, you can call them, right? Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm confused, and I don't think it has to be this way. I think we can do better. So I would encourage you to do better, right? Call your politicians, call your mayors, let them know that needles in the streets and junkies shooting up heroin on the sidewalks is not okay. All right, these people need help, and sometimes they need a little push, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think we need to do better because, let's be honest, civilization is at stake here. I mentioned San Francisco and LA a little bit ago. I was in LA a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you, that place looks like the apocalypse hit it. Looks like a third world country. It is disturbing, it's frightening, and it is not America. I'm just going to throw it out there. That is not America. We can do better. So, yes, call your mayors, call your city council people. Come on, guys. We can do this. I believe. So, all right. Anyway, that being said, I will dismount the soapbox. Yeah. I want to wish you all a very good week, good weekend, all that good jazz. If you're struggling, you're having a hard time, please let me know. I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. But reach out to somebody, anybody. Please don't try and go it alone. Things are great, life is good. I mean, great, awesome, happy for you. But, make sure you don't forget the little people. The people that are struggling, they need your help. And, you really have an obligation to help them. And if you don't feel like you do, you can be assured, I assure you, believe me, you'll be better off if you do help them. Trust me. You're going to feel good. It's going to make your day. It's going to make your heart 3 times bigger. I mean, all that good stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that about covers it. So, yep. Take care, everyone. Good night.